to Sacred Self-Love with me, Diana, your Sacred Self-Love coach. Thank you for joining me. Wherever you're coming from, do let me know where you are streaming in from. I am in sunny Louth in England again today. The weather is delightful. We are really having an amazing start to summer. Finally, it did feel a little bit slow, but it's here at last. What am I coming on to tell you about today on Sacred Self-Love Tuesday lunch break? Stop scrolling. Yep, I said it. Stop scrolling. I'm going to give you a little bit of back context why this topic is hot for me today. So on the weekend, I had the most amazing experience with a friend of mine. We drove out to the Peak District and went for a beautiful hike in nature up in the peaks. And it's a beautiful spot where 3 shires actually meet. So 3 different counties come to a point at this spot where there's a waterfall and a river, and it's just divine. And yeah, so we got to hike all the way through and up to the waterfalls and the bridge, where we lay in the sun. On the way, we spoke to horses and sheep and had a brilliant time. Took a million photographs and then hiked all the way back. It ended up being a 7.5K hike, so not too far and not too arduous. It was manageable. We did get a bit of sunburn, which was to be expected, I suppose, but we just had so much fun and I felt full of energy. And then on Sunday, my menstrual cycle came and my energy took a complete dip. I woke up with little energy and I thought, oh, maybe it's the sun, maybe, and of course there were a number of factors. So the long hike the day before, a lot of time in the sun, my body's own cycle, that my energy levels just dipped. And that was fine. Took it in my stride. My friend and I went and sat under a tree and chatted for a bit, had a bit of a picnic lunch. We had a very lovely, slow day and it was divine. Yesterday, my energy levels were even lower. The dip just continued. So they basically went from Saturday, boom, and then the trajectory just was like downward. And by last night, I was flat as a pancake. And I got into bed and I thought, oh, I'm in bed early. I'm going to have a look at Instagram. And started looking at Instagram and I saw that somebody that I follow who is an amazing being of bright, shining light, and I mention her often. I'm not going to mention her today just for the sake of the topic. She is incredible and I absolutely adore her. And she's just released a program with a name that is almost exactly the same, bar for one word, to one of my programs. And she's got a level of fame. She has got millions of followers. She is just big. She's been in the game a lot longer than I have. And I felt completely deflated instantly. My low energy levels, my body going through what it's going through, feeling tired, feeling slightly weak, and going on and seeing that this famous person with this huge following that does so well and everything she does just turns to gold has launched a program with the same name as one of my programs, almost the same, as I said, bar one word. I felt completely deflated. What did I do? I stopped scrolling. I went out of social media immediately. Not because I'm like super clever, but because I've been practicing this self-love thing for a very long time. So I knew in that moment that I'd been triggered, and I'd been triggered for all sorts of stuff that sits in my shadow, that sits in my conditioning of the society programming that we come from, lack of worth, not having succeeded enough yet, not having hit the bar yet. There was all this stuff that was being triggered in me, and I knew to just stop. What I did first was I liked her post. I sent love to her because I thought, I'm going to receive this. Rather, feeling deflated already, I then decided to turn it around and say, I'm going to receive this as a beautiful sign. Like, how perfect. This person who is so super successful in this area is now launching a program so similar to the one that I launched last year. And I was like, oh, yay. I'm going to receive that as a beautiful sign from the universe. Thank you very much. And I'm going to get the hell out of social media, because right now I need to preserve me and turn within. And so I took that opportunity to first of all, send her some beautiful love and appreciation and receive that sign from the universe. And then to go and spend some quiet time with myself, with my soul, and reconnect and get connected again to why I created that program, why I create all the programs that I create, why I do what I do, the burning desire that's in me, my passion, the passion that drives me every day, that gets me out of bed, that keeps me up late at night and coming up with new ideas. And I reconnected with me. I reconnected with the deepest part of myself and with the highest part of myself. I reconnected with my sacred self, and I practiced self-love in that moment. I stopped scrolling because knowing that I had already been triggered, I knew that the chances of me going into comparison mode were very high. The chances of me going into allowing my inner critic to suddenly wake up and find her voice and have a lot to say, those chances were pretty high. And so I recognized the trigger. I recognized my own lower energy levels. I recognized the time of day. I recognized all of these factors, and I stopped scrolling. I removed myself from social media, and I connected with me. And wow, what a powerful shift that was. Because what ended up happening is I did connect on an amazing level, and I did receive so many reminders of how the ideas that I'd have to actually have had to change that program slightly anyway. So the name is going to change soon. I was reminded of my renewed vision. I was reminded of my path, my journey, and my value. I was also reminded of my rhythms and that my timing is perfect, just as it is. That everything is always the right thing at the right time. Hello, JJ Living. Wonderful to send love, so powerful to remove yourself from the rabbit hole so many fall into. Absolutely. That is it. That's such a good analogy. Remove myself from the rabbit hole, because we can do that so easily. We see something and down we go. Whereas actually we can put. I just have this picture of a rabbit going like that. Put those paws out. Catch yourself before you actually fall down that rabbit hole. There's no need to go down and follow the trigger, which could just lead to another trigger and another trigger and another trigger. As I said, could wake up that inner critic and get that inner critic's voice going loud in your head. Could wake up that comparison mode, which is so destructive. And rather just acknowledge what is out there, acknowledge the beauty of what is out there. And then in that space for me, with my lower energy, after a long and I must say very successful day yesterday in the work that I was doing, I was able to remember that, able to reconnect with everything that I do create and the value that I do bring and the passion that does drive me. So as I said, that was active self-love that was just so powerful. So a very specific encouragement today, not general at all, is be very mindful with your media. Those of you that have worked with me know that I'm big on mindful media. Media is so wonderful and it's so amazing for us to communicate our messages out to the world, and especially in business like I'm in, where I really want to reach as many people as possible. So mass media is brilliant. Social media is brilliant. We rely on it, and it's amazing to think how far we've come in keeping a connection just across the whole world. But when it comes to receiving messages, be very mindful. Be very mindful of the state you're in. How is your mind? How is your emotional body? How is your physical body? And how is your soul? Are you connected with soul and spirit at the time that you go into social media? So that when you do go in, you're able to decipher, you're able to discern what is good for you, what is feeding and nourishing you, what can potentially lift you up, and what could potentially trigger you. And so to stay in that state of awareness is so, so very powerful. And so that's why the title today is Stop Scrolling. Stop scrolling for 1 second and think, how is this going to serve me today? Will this nourish me? Will this feed into the vision that I have for myself, for my life? Am I here for a specific purpose? Am I looking for something? Do I need something right now? And based on all of those answers, then decide, yes, I am going to plug into or tap into that huge web that connects us all across the globe. And I am going to see what comes to me. So get yourself into a space of true self-awareness and self-knowledge, self-acceptance, and of course, sacred self-love before you just go plowing into that space, because that space is full of so many different energies. And yes, there's loads of positive and beautiful energy, and there's also loads of energy that for your spirit and your sacred self isn't a match. And therefore, that translates into it's negative for you. So for you, it can be very negative. So don't let social media rule you. You rather rule that relationship. You own that relationship and check in with yourself before you go diving into that. On that note, I want to share with you a card from the beautiful Love Me Beautiful deck, which is, I've ran a post the other day, speaking of social media and posts. I put a post out the other day. The deck is almost sold out. We're going to be reprinting very soon and some exciting new stuff as well. But this deck, as it is, the original, the first Love Me Beautiful self-love card deck, is down to, I think, 11 or 12 sets left. So, and they're on a really, really nice price point. So go on to dianagrant.com if you'd like to get a pack. They make a lovely gift. They really, really do. So yeah, that's in the UK and Europe that we only have 12 packs left. If you're in South Africa, there is still some other stock as well of books and cards. So just get on there. And now I'm going to pull a card for you. I have shuffled them while I was chatting. And let's see what the cards have to share with us today. Haha. Yes, this is perfect. Perfect for what we were talking about. I accept myself exactly as I am. There we go. I accept myself exactly as I am. So I think I encourage you, give this some energy today. Give some energy to accepting yourself as you are. It's a fantastic place to start. It's a fantastic place to start. You might have goals, dreams for yourself. You might want to see changes happening in your life, whether it be on a physical, an emotional, a mental, or a spiritual level. Absolutely. Go first. Accept yourself. And definitely, before entering the wonderful worldwide maze of social media, start here. Are you in a space of true acceptance and true sacred self-love? So on that note, I will love and leave you. Thank you for joining this lunchtime session. As I said last week, you might have seen I'm still debating which day, but I think Tuesday lunch is a really, really good day for these sacred sessions. It feels good. You know, Monday can be a day of great action post the weekend, and Tuesday can be a bit slumpy. So I shall be here next week, Tuesday, again for Sacred Self-Love lunch break. Thank you so much for joining me. JJ Living, thanks for being here. And to wherever you are in the world, enjoy the rest of your day, or if it's the end of the day, enjoy your night. And thank you for being here. Remember, accept yourself exactly as you are. Lots of love, and I'll see you again.